Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be doing my 2024 bullet journal setup. This video is probably also going to contain my January setup, so this is going to be both my full year setup as well as all of my monthly spreads for January. I'm really excited to dive into doing a whole new journal. If you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend you check out my 2023 bullet journal tour that went live like 2 weeks ago now, because it will give you a cool idea of what this journal will look like in about 12 months time. Before I start working on my spreads, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the journal that I bought. This is from Archer and Olive. This is the same model of notebook that I've been using for the past 3 years. This is going to be the 4th year that I've used it. And this is an A5 notebook from Archer and Olive. It has 192 pages and I think it's 160 GSM. We'll start talking about my theme for the year, because if you've seen any of my journal tours from the past, you'll know that my January theme is always the same as all of my month or my year-long themes. So at the beginning of my journal, I'll do a bunch of pages that are trackers for the entire year, and I try to do those in a similar theme to my January spread, which is why all that is going to be in the same video. I know I've talked about this in other videos before. I have a running note on my phone where I keep track of bullet journal theme ideas that I have. If I just think of one while I'm out and about, I'll write it down in there, and then every month when I go to set up my new monthly spreads, I will usually look at my TikTok comments and look at my note on my notes app to try and find a theme that I want for the year. And the theme that I want to use for the beginning of the year for 2024 is a theme that I've had on my mind for a really long time, and I feel like I just didn't have a good month to use it. I think this is going to be the perfect time. I'm going to show you some visual examples from Pinterest that I pulled so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But what I want to do for my beginning of the year spreads is going to be a denim jacket with a bunch of buttons and pins on it. So I think it's going to be perfect timing for that kind of theme, because if you haven't noticed, this journal is like a mock denim fabric on the cover, and I feel like it would just be so cute if you open to the first page and it's just like a little denim jacket. I thought of this theme because I love seeing people wear denim jackets or jeans that have a bunch of patches or buttons and pins on them. The denim jacket that I wear all the time, I have one pin on the front. I have a little butterfly pin on it, but every time I wear it, I get so many compliments on it because it's just like a cute little personalized touch. But I'm going to bring you on over to Pinterest to show you the board that I made of inspirational images for these spreads. So I've pulled up my Pinterest board on my computer, and I'm going to show you some pictures that I pinned that are going to be a little inspiration for this theme. Here we have my little board. So this picture here is kind of what I'm talking about, of what I want the like divider page on the first open page to look like. Just like maybe the chin showing of a face, but it's about like the lapel of the jacket that has the little pins on it. And I think all of the pins, it would be really cute to draw things on them that like relate to the new year. Like it could say like 2024, little quotes about the new year, stuff like that. Or I was thinking about doing some little pins that have references to like big things that are going to happen that year, like anything that I already have planned, like trips to go on or fun things happening in my life. I only have a couple pictures on here. I really like these because I love the design of these pins. I just think that they're cute and kind of retro. This is another cute one. I like the idea of having like a red lip. So what I still have to do is pick out a font, and I don't have any actual illustrated art style references because I haven't decided what it's gonna look like yet. I am a little bit nervous because I want the denim to look like denim, and that is sometimes a hard texture to recreate, especially if you're going to be drawing it multiple times. But I think I'm going to try and do some sketching before I do it in my journal, just to make sure that it looks the way I want it to. But I am going to go in and look at my fonts board right here and try and pick out a cool font. So you'll probably know by now that I have this gigantic 106 pins Pinterest board of fonts that I like. And when I'm picking out a font for the beginning of the year, I like to try and pick something that isn't too stylized. Like I want it to be very general, so it can be like an overarching theme for the year, and also something that is kind of easy to recreate because it's going to go on a lot of pages, and I don't like to have to really draw a really meticulous whirly twirly font all the time if I'm going to be drawing it that many times. Like I said, this is a really long Pinterest board, but I don't want to scroll all the way to the bottom because I've used a lot of the fonts that are at the beginning of this board, and I want to use something that's completely new to me. So I just pinned this one recently. That one's called Ramona. I really like this top font. Like this is something that I feel like is really easy to recreate because it's blocky and it's mostly straight lines. It's not a lot of like ligatures that go between that you have to really stylize each time. I also really like super simple things like this, but sometimes this is almost like counterintuitive. Sometimes I feel like fonts that are actual perfect right angles and true straight blocky lines are actually harder to recreate than things that are a little bit more funky, because if the lines on something like this aren't perfectly straight, they don't like look good, like they look very messy. But something that I do like is that this reference has the numbers in it, and lots of reference font pictures like this that you'll find online don't have numbers in them. I think at this point I've used a lot of these that are on the screen, so I think I'm going to go back and pick one of the 3 that I pinned. So I think I'm going to do some sketching to figure out my little art style, to figure out my denim texture, and pick a font, and then I will come back to you. So I've just gone through all of my blue markers that I have. Here are all of the blue adjacent markers that I have that are Tombow, and I've swatched a couple of them, and I think I've landed on using this one. This is the Tombow 526 marker, and I think this is the closest that I'm going to get to, it's this one. I think that's the closest I'm going to get to the actual color of my notebook. I don't care if it's like exactly the same, which is why I'm just going to go with the closest instead of going out trying to buy a new marker, which I feel like is stupid because I already own so many goddamn Tombow markers. Something that I love about denim is on a lot of really good quality denim, they will have the like goldish brown colored thread. That's like the color thread they use to sew it together. So I have this pen, which is actually a really similar color to that, but if you haven't used Tombows before, they don't layer super well on top of each other, especially if they're in the same tone. So I might use this for some of it, but I thought it would be cool to go over top with a gold gel pen. This is the Sakura Jelly Roll pens. These are like my favorite gel pens. They're like super juicy and thick. I think that it will look super cute on top of the gold marker and just like give it a little something extra, give it a little spice, if you will. So I think I'm going to use those. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do this yet, but I like the idea of having some like white, like little streakies in it, because I feel like lots of denim will have some sort of white thread going through it as well. So I'm going to probably use either another Sakura Jelly Roll pen in white, or I also have this other one. This is the Uniball Signo gel pen. If you like go really fast with these, they kind of make a little streaky look, so I think I might go over top and use that. I'm gonna start sketching and then I'll show you. Okay, I think I decided what I'm gonna do. I'll show you my sketch. I'm not super set on the art style yet, but I don't think it really matters because it just matters what the pins look like, and those I'm gonna let myself be creative with. I'm gonna show you what I think I'm gonna do for my little divider page. If you didn't know, at the beginning of each year, I use the actual first blank page of the journal to do a little divider that just says the year, and it will like have some sort of illustration that goes in the theme. Alright, so this is in like my regular sketchbook. I'm gonna do this little illustration. I wanted it to look like Super 8 camera frame, so it's gonna like be in that shape, and I'm just gonna put a little caption up here or maybe down here that says 2024, but I want it to be about the illustration, and I'm gonna make all of the pins, like I said before, references to things that I'm gonna do this year, or just cute things, because I don't have my entire year planned yet. But I'm gonna do a little sketch of this in my actual journal and I'll show you. Okay, hello, it's me from the voiceover. I didn't talk about what I was doing here, so I'm just going to chat you through it right now. I illustrated a little picture of a girl wearing a denim jacket, and I wanted it to be zoomed in to like the lapel area so you could really like admire all of the little pins. And like I said in the intro, I tried to illustrate some things onto the pins that are relevant to my life or things that are happening in the next year, so that they're kind of relevant for the things that are going to be in the journal. Like I put a little hand with like a festival wristband on because I want to go to a festival this year. I did a little beach sunset because I'm going to go to the beach this year, stuff like that. And I feel like that's a cute way to personalize your journal. That's always something that I like to add in. Like whenever I draw a character, I try and make it look like me because it's my journal. And then here's me working on my little songs of the year header. I kind of went back and forth working on these headers because they're very repetitive. But something else I wanted to talk about during this voiceover is the idea about my art style. So I feel like I never really thought that I had a very distinct or memorable art style until people started pointing it out to me in the comments on my TikToks. I have always really struggled and felt very insecure as an artist about not having a distinct or recognizable art style, because I feel like having one really takes such a long time to figure out what it is, and it takes a lot of trial and error of like things that work for you, like a way that you enjoy working, and I really do think that now I do have one, but it kind of happened like overnight. Like I don't know what I did to make it for myself, but I guess it just is something that has come to fruition through time. So I would say if you are insecure about not having a distinct art style, like don't worry, it'll come. And even if it doesn't, it's honestly cool to be able to do lots of different styles. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I am just going to fill in this background. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do there yet. I love the way that this gel pen looks on the sides. It just like adds a little something extra, and I think all the little pins look super cute. And then I just did my headers for my Year in Pixels and my Songs of the Year page. I didn't really show me like drawing the grids or anything because it's very boring and repetitive. This was really simple to draw also. Just did the same font and added a couple of those little pin icons, and they look super cute. I have a couple more just headers to draw for my yearly spreads. I'm gonna do my movies header, my books, and a new spread that I'm doing this year that I'll talk about a little bit later. So I think I'm going to do those off camera because it's going to be exactly the same thing he has here, just drawing the headers. I don't have to draw anything else on any of the pages, so I'm just going to do those off camera and I'll show you when I'm done. Hi everyone. It is indubitably like 5 days later. It's been like one of the busiest weeks of my life, not just with work, but also like all of my hometown friends. I've been seeing them off and on, so it's just been like a busy week. So needless to say, I haven't worked on my journal again, and today's the 30th. I don't think this video will be up by January 1st, which is usually what I like to try and do, but I try not to push myself at this time of year because even though it is like the busiest time of year for me because I make journaling content that is like all of my fun year-end content is at the end of the year and the beginning of the next year. But of course, this is also the holiday time, so I try and not like push myself too hard because then I'm going to be missing out on hanging out with friends and family. So I am just going to let myself be okay with not having everything be on time this year. I hope this will still be up on like the 2nd or 3rd of January. I don't even know the last thing that I showed. I don't even actually, like, I'm looking at my closed notebook right now. I don't even know what the pages are that I've done. So I'm gonna go and continue working on that. I think I'm gonna try and do like the January divider right now and see what I can get done with that. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I just looked back at the footage and I think the last thing I showed were like these pages. And I'll just show you what I have here just in case I don't know. I didn't show everything. So I did this movies header and this one here, and my second movies page and my third movies page. For these ones, for the headers, I used that same font and I just did it like a bunch of these little buttons and pin little icons. I just think they're cute. And then I did this header for my books of the year. I like that I'm doing this little motif of like being able to see that little denim jacket in all of these. Even this, I did this like little film strip of like a zoom in on a pin on the jacket, and when you zoom in you see that it's a pin that says 2024 on it, which I just think is cute. This one is like a little heart being embroidered on some denim. I just think it's a cute little detail. So like I said, I still have 2 more year-long pages to do, but I think I'm gonna try and do my divider page for January right now because that is like the biggest thing that I need to get done, and then I'll go back and finish these. Okay, I did my sketch for the divider. It was way quicker than I thought it was gonna be actually. Like as soon as I sat down, I thought of something that I really liked and I sketched it and it's cute. So I'll show you my sketch. If you are new to my channel and you haven't seen one of my journal with me videos before, I don't often show my sketching process, not because I don't want to show you, but usually because I sketch really lightly in pencil and you can't see it on camera usually, so I kind of sometimes feel like it's a waste of time and storage on my memory card to film my sketching process. So I usually just show you after I finish the sketch and I'll talk you through what I did to get there because you can't see it when I film it. So I'll show you. Okay, so here is my sketch. I wanted to do another really close-up of like the lapel of the jacket. So I have this girl here, I guess it's me, and she's got her cool jacket on and she's kind of, her hair is like flowing across the page like like in the wind. And I think I'm also gonna draw her hand up here, so she's kind of like, I don't know, waving goodbye or something like that to somebody, or hello. And I just did the text in that same font that I was using before. I am obsessed with this font. It's so cool. It's very like retro cool to me. Like, I don't know, it feels like an old album cover font or something like that. And then I just redrew a lot of the same pins that I did on this little illustration and a couple new ones. So I think it'll be cute. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do for the background here or on here, but I think I will draw the rest of it and then I'll decide later. And since I'm doing this whole theme, I thought it would be cool to show you my denim jacket, and also another thing that I have that really inspired this, because collect pins and buttons. That's like my favorite thing to collect when I go travel somewhere, or if like my family goes somewhere and then they bring me something back. It's usually a pin or a button, because those are my favorite things to collect. I'll show you where I put all of them. First of all, this is my denim jacket that I was talking about. It's really old. It's from Old Navy. It's really oversized and I wear it multiple times a week. It's like my go-to jacket. And like I mentioned before, I have this little pin on there. This is, I think I said, this is a Casey Musgraves merch pin. She had this during the Golden Hour era. I bought it at her tour, the Golden Hour tour, or I think it was called the Oh What a World tour. I love it. I also have a matching one that's a little bit smaller, which is on my backpack, and I'll show you that. So this is my backpack where I keep all of my other pins. Honestly, I do have more than what is on here. Some of them are like on other articles of clothing that I wear. Some of them are on like my bulletin board and stuff, but this is where I keep a majority of my pins. This is a really small backpack. You can see how the size of my hand compared to it. This is a JanSport half pint backpack, so it's really little. I always bring this with me when I go, like if I go on a walk or like on a hike somewhere outside, I'll bring this because it's a perfect size. Or if I go to an amusement park, something like that, it's literally the perfect size for like day trips and stuff like that. I can fit my entire big water bottle in there with like my wallet, my bag, like other stuff in there, so it really is like a perfect size. But yeah, I can kind of give you a mini tour of some of the pins that I have on here because they're so cute. I have a lot of music related pins. This is Japanese breakfast merch. That's Dodie, Paramore, Casey Musgraves. This is from Lollapalooza this year. They had this cool pin with the bean on it. There's Harry Styles, super cute. This is the DJ Flume. There's Taylor Swift pin. And I also have a bunch of pins from places I've traveled. So these are from Lake Tahoe. This is from Copper Mountain in Colorado. My parents gave me this little leprechaun when they went to Ireland this year. I have another one from Colorado. And some of these I bought, some of them I was given. This one I found on the ground in a parking lot. This is from a candy store. These are from a record store. I also found this on the ground in a parking lot. It's Shakespeare and it says Willpower on it. This is the Liquid Death logo and I got that for free at Lollapalooza. I love this little sun with little red go-go boots and this little cloud handbag. So cute. Yeah, I just wanted to show you because I love to include little tidbits about me in these videos so you can like get to know me a little bit better. And also because a lot of the art that I make is based on stuff that I like in real life, so I feel like it's cool to show that connection. Okay, I'm back here on my voiceover and I wanted to continue what I was talking about the art style thing, because I feel like it's something that is very hotly debated in the art world. At least it was when I was in college for art, over like whether or not you have to have a distinct art style to be a good or recognizable artist. And honestly, I feel like there's value in both. And something that I've loved about doing bullet journaling is getting to try out different art styles for every theme throughout the month, because sometimes I like to try out different art styles that are different from my quote unquote own style, because it will go better with whatever theme I'm trying to draw. But that's all I wanted to say about it. For the hair that I'm drawing here, changing the subject, I did this trick where I drew the hair as I normally draw it, which is very streaky, liney, and then I went over like every other little chunk with this like grayish brown tone. You'll see I'm doing in the next clip, I think. And then I went over the entire blocked shape with the regular brown color that I use. And it's only a very subtle difference in color, but you can totally tell the difference. And I feel like it adds a lot of dimension. You can see right here what I'm talking about. And then I started moving on to working on my illustration page in my journal next to my calendar, and I decided to do another illustration of the same little character, and this time I wanted to add these lyrics from a song that I love called Denim Jacket by Sammy Ray and the Friends. It's a great song about how The singer is like kind of insecure at a party, wants to go home, is feeling very anxious, and then they put on their denim jacket, and it's like their bulletproof, foolproof denim jacket. And I thought it was just like the perfect time to use that quote in my journal, so I had to illustrate it here. And I really love the way this illustration turned out. I did a lot of the same techniques because I was drawing the same character, so I did the same denim texture with the gel pen, same hair thing I was talking about before. But I don't know, something about the composition, I just really like it. And then this is a really sped through clip of me doing my goals and habits page, as well as my moments, because I feel like it's so boring to watch me draw the same header over and over again. So here's a little fast forward clip through that because it's exactly the same as all the other pages. Hey guys, update. It's New Year's Eve. I'm still not done with my journal. I think I'm gonna finish it though. I'm leaving in about an hour to go to my New Year's Eve party. I have to drive a little bit to get there, so I have like an hour to do my last 2 spreads. I want to get them done so that when I get back tomorrow, I can edit everything and hopefully have things posted in time for the beginning of the year. I'm gonna show you what I've done in the meantime because I did a couple of things that I don't think I talked about at all. So I'll show you those and then I'll talk about the other 2 spreads that I'm adding for this year that I've never done before. So I know that you watched me make all of these spreads, but I didn't talk about how I did end up adding this little background. I don't actually know if I even showed that, but I decided to do this kind of like sunburst background. So it's very like warm and welcoming. I really like that combination of like the yellowy orange and the blue. They just really complement each other, of course, because they're complementary colors. But I feel like it's just very bright and inviting for the new year. I finished this little illustration. I love how it turned out. I think I already talked about the lyrics to the song. It's the Sammy Ray and the Friends song. And I did these 2 pages really quickly. I don't think I filmed much of these because it's very boring. Those are my little headers for those pages. The other small thing I added was on this illustration and all of these pages, I did add this little white outline around the character. Once I filled in this orange, I thought that it needed to be separated or like brought forward a little bit, so I added that white outline. And it's really subtle, but I do think that it helps to like make the character pop against the background, so I really like how that turned out. And these are the last 2 pages that I need to do. I have never done these spreads before, but I'm adding them for 2024. Usually my year-long spreads are just the songs, the year in pixels, the movies, and the books, but this year I wanted to add 2 more. This one is going to be another simple tracker list one, like my movies and books, but it's going to be tracking all of the concerts that I go to. I always track the concerts that I go to. I actually have a spreadsheet on my computer of all the concerts I've ever been to, but I feel like it would be cool to incorporate it into my journal just for each year. And then this one, I've seen a lot of people do lately. It's just a spread where it just says my year in journal themes, and it's going to be a grid of 12 squares. And once I design each theme, I'm just going to fill in just like a little picture of what the theme looks like, and it will kind of be like a way to lay them all out on one page. It's almost like a table of contents just for the themes in your journal. So I really like that. All I have to do here is do a simple header. Same with this one. I'm doing a little illustration on the side. So I'm going to work on those, and once I finish them, I'll be my whole journal done. So I know I said that this is the first year I've done either of these 2 spreads, and I feel like it's been a couple years since I like added a new thing into the mix for my yearly spreads. So if you have a really cool yearly spread that you do in your journal every year to track something throughout the entire year, I'd love to hear what it is. I feel like I always see interesting ideas on Instagram and on Pinterest from other creators, but these are the first 2 that I was like, okay, I actually like really want to put those in my own journal because I feel like they're very, I don't know, I feel like they pertain to me a lot because I do very, you know, highly themed things in my journal, and I also love concerts, like a big part of my life, and I spend a lot of my time and money going to concerts, so I wanted to be able to honor that in my journal. But if you have any other cool year-long or even like monthly spreads that you do that I don't, I would love to see what those are for you and why you love them, and maybe I'll add them into mine. Oh my god, guys, I'm done. I can't believe I did this and I finished it on New Year's Eve, like literally the last day. I mean, obviously my content, like my videos and stuff won't be ready by the 1st of the month, but like I'm impressed with myself that I even finished all the spreads in time. I'm really excited about them and I love this theme. It's super fun. I feel like it's very accurate for me, or like on brand for me. I feel like the past 2 years I've loved using my January and like year-long pages to do a theme that is very on brand for myself because it just kind of sets the tone for a good year. And yeah, I'm gonna show you all of my finished spreads And yeah. Okay, and here are my 2024 spreads. Here is my little divider opening page. Establishes my little theme of the denim jacket with the pins. Super cute typeface. There's my empty songs of the year spread that will soon be filled in. My year in pixels. My movies spread with my cute little Super 8 camera and my Zoom film reel. And this one here, cute, more headers, more movies, more books. I like this little header too, super cute. Here is my finished concerts page. I don't know if I said this before, but I did this little log of the information about each concert. So it's the date, the show, the artist, the opener, the venue. Here is my year in themes that I will soon fill in the January one for. My cute January divider that I love. This is such like cool girl energy to me. Here's my cute illustration and my calendar page where it says January. And lastly, my goals and my moments page. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, hanging out with me, making some themes, chit-chatting about life. If you're interested in seeing some more from me, definitely follow me over on Instagram and TikTok where I post super frequently. I'm going to try and post a journal with me video every month this year, as well as other fun videos, creative, non-creative, about my life, vlogs, stuff like that throughout the year. With that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great 2024. If you are setting up your bullet journal for the year, definitely send me a picture on Instagram or TikTok. I would love to see it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!